الإشتراك في ليلة الرقائب إن شاء الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. بمددكم ونزلكم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيبنا مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولياء ماشي أمل الفيز الدارستاني سلطان الأولياء شيخ محمد نازم حقاني مولانا الشيخ هشام كرباني الشيخ آدم كرباني الشيخ محمد عاد بمددكم ونزلكم في هذا المجلس في بركات شهر المبارك وليلة المبارك ليلة الرقائب. Inshallah Allah Azza wa Jalla bless us from the blessings of the holy month of Raghaib and the holy night of Laylatul Raghaib, the night in which the light of the father of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Abdullah, that light passed and transferred into the womb of Sayyidina Amina alayhi salam, the holy mother of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then Allah Azza wa Jalla began the sending of rahmatan lil alameen, the immense blessing of the arrival of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will begin to take place based on that mercy and that light and that love that Allah Azza wa Jalla was going to send upon this earth, upon this creation and upon all His created universes for the manifestation of that reality to begin to appear. Based on that, they call the night of desires and wishes. Ya Rabbi, for the sake of the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and only You know with what love and with what rahmah You created that reality and made us from the lovers of that reality, inshaAllah, that dress us and bless us, take away our difficulties for the sake of that life, take away our hardships for the sake of that life, take away all sicknesses for the sake of that life, and protect us from every azab and every ghadab and anger that is coming upon this earth from Your Divinely Presence, Ya Rabbi, from whatever shayateen are planning, Ya Rabbi, and grant us Your rida and satisfaction. Grant us our rida and our sustenance to be free from people, Ya Rabbi, not to be under the oppression of people, but that Your rizq and Your sustenance for our soul and for our body comes free from Your Divinely Presence with all Your azimat to protect it, Ya Rabbi. Grant us our Islam, our iman, wal maqam al ihsan, Ya Rabbi, and grant us that to be the ashiqeen and lovers of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that light to be nourished and to grow within our hearts, within the hearts of our children, within the hearts of our family and our community, Ya Rabbi. For the sake of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, save us, Ya Rabbi, through difficulty. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi sirri su'udat al-Fatiha. Inshallah, let's start with the Salawat book, page 5 of the Salawats. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad alayhi salam, salatan tadumu wa tu'la ilayhi wa ma'al layali wa tu'la dawam. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. إِنَّا فَتَحْنَا لَكَ فَتْحًا مُبِينًا لِيَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنبِكَ وَمَا تَأَخَّرَ وَيُتِمَّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَيَهْدِيَكَ صِرَاطًا مُسْتَقِيمًا وَيَنصُرَكَ اللَّهُ نَصْرًا عَزِيزًا لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ وإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الفاتحة يا قادرون ووالدنا ووالدكم وأهلنا وأولادنا ولمشايخنا ولمن حضرنا ولمن غاب عنا ولأحيانا ولأمواتنا وللمغربين على المجلس ولمن كان سببا في جميعنا بأن الله الكريم يعور القلوب ويغفر الذنوب ويسر الغيوب يحفظنا بمحافظ الذكر ويسرنا بالمنسى بالرسول وأن الله الكريم يجعل مجلسنا حالا مختنا بالخيرات والمسارات والأنوار والبركات ويهدي لنا جميع الحاجات بجاه خير الأنبياء وأن الله ينصر المسلمين ولنية الله الكريم ينصر سلطان الأولياء مولى الشيخ محمد ناصر القادر الألباني قدس الله سره بجاه خير الأنام ولكل نية صالحة وحسن خاتمة إن الموت وبعد أمور التي تدعى الله وإلى حضرة النبي بسر سورة الفاتحة. آمين يا رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنت سلطاننا يا ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتب علينا وزد حبيبك سيدنا الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. زدوا يا ربي عزا وشرفا ونورا وسرورا وسلطانا ورضوانا ورحمة الشيطان ومن تبعه. إن شاء الله. With page 11, عباد الله رجال الله غيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله أصانا بفضل الله يا أبطى ويا أنجى ويا سادة ويا أحباب وأنتم يا أولي الألباب رجال الله
مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا أبو سيدي مدد يا عمر فاروق مدد يا عثمان غني مدد يا إمام علي
shall we have for Imam alayhi salam, and for mawlana Shaykh. Everybody.
Page 4 or 6.
Which page?
Page number 4 and number 6.
Page number 4 and page number 6. Inshallah.
سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم علی شیر خدا دردم دوا کن مناجات مرا پیش خدا کن
recite them again. It's okay, Shaykh.
Ya Rab, bi Muhammad Ali Zahra, Ya Rab, bi Hussein Hassan Ali Abam, Kazlot برار حاجتم درد و سرام بی منت خلق یا علی الاعلی یا مولا دلم تنگ اومده شیشه دلم
When you inherit from these great souls, you inherit their tajalli and their reality in a much smaller way that these ahlul bayt and those who carry the blood and the light of ahlul bayt and have that proximity and that love, they've seen nothing but deceit in this world. And they're continuously under the oppression of deceit and injustice. Not from outside, but from Muslims. They don't need an outside enemy, they just need more Muslims, and they're continuously under attack. Continuously under attack. There's no outside force to be worried about. It's the inside. When we enter into this holy month of Rajab, it has the reality of 63 and Surah Al-Munafiq, that in this tajalli of Subhanal Man Huwa Khalaq al-Nur that we'll go into later, in the greatness of Rajab, the immensity of Rajab, Allah puts Surah 63, that Munafiq. And the most dangerous enemy is not the outside enemy, but it's the internal enemy. One within your own faith that works diligently to destroy you, to bring you down, to put every type of obstacle and barrier in front. And alhamdulillah for those whom are supported by Allah, for if the whole world was to come against them, nothing can happen to them. And if Allah's support not with them, if the whole world come to support you, nothing will benefit you. But this is the month in which to remember this reality, the difficulty of that reality of how much internal oppression that people put upon believers, those whom struggle in the way of Allah to spread the truth, spread the light, spread the love, that this love of Sayyidina Muhammad to spread, and how fiercely shaitan tries to oppose it, to break it and to divide it. That his system is to divide and conquer, and that's not the way of Sayyidina Muhammad. He does not authorize anyone to enter into an area to divide and conquer muhibbeen and ahbab and lovers. That is a system of shaitan and munafiqeen, that they enter and to divide and spread deceit and fitna. And we pray Allah always to protect us, but our lives have seen nothing but that. That in every step of propagating the love of Sayyidina Muhammad there's no ease, there's no step in which to step in which there's a comfort. For in every direction shaitan is trying to block that love. For if it was truly from Sayyidina Muhammad he would have brought all the love together. All the ahbab would have been coming together to come, to praise, to love. If it was truly, whatever you do in life, if you think you are truly working for Allah, you would be uniting people, not taking a broken branch and separating people. The trunk of Naqshbandi tariqah is in the hands of Mawlana Shaykh Muhammad, and he is clearly the tree of the Naqshbandi. And wherever you go in the world, you see that he's unifying people, not calling people to a broken branch, then trying to destroy and to crush them. This is what's important, that people have a mind. Allah wants to send something out and around and test people. What are you going after? If you are going after truly the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, it's not about money. It's not about conquering a territory and getting their money and to find their donors and vacuum everything up to yourself. Because those groups, they have no centers. They have no centers anywhere in this world because they vacuumed up all the funds from those people. And they don't want any center, and they want one centralized organization that conquer everything. And they don't want anything to prosper. But subhanAllah, we looked on the internet, tens of thousands of people go to Pakistan. And they're coming in droves all over the world, wherever they're stepping. Why? Because he wants nothing from them. He wants to spread the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. And that's tariqah. Tariqah was to unify people to the love. Not to find a division and to break and enter everywhere you enter to break and to break and to break. That we saw in our history, and our ancestors died at the hands of that. You know, there's nothing new, it just repeats itself. The ancestors come back in our hearts and say that, yeah, the sadness you face, we faced it. Not from an outside. We fought outside forces. The greatest fight was the inside forces, how they were slaughtering each other. What an outside force couldn't do, how the inside force killed all the Khalifas and all the Ashab al-Nabis and all the ahlul bayt of Prophet. Not outside enemies, the inside. What the outside could not accomplish, the so-called Muslims did. And they killed the great Sahabi and they killed the ahlul bayt of Prophet. This is our legacy, this is our history. That's why Tariqah Khan says, we have no fight with outside people. We have only the fight with ourselves. If you rid yourself of your demon, your desire for power, your desire for money, how much money is enough? Is 10 million enough? 20 million is enough? How much is enough of authority and power and a desire to conquer the earth and sit upon the Sikh, what we call, when somebody says, what is a Sikh? It's a spear. It's a piece of metal with a very sharp point. And people are fighting for that position. And social media exasperates and exaggerates that desire even more. So it means that there must be a secret in this Rajab month in which Allah puts Surah al-Munafiqeen. That we pray that Allah unify the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. Bring ahbab together, bring the lovers together. All the branches of Naqshbandi should be in the hands of Mawlana Shaykh Muhammad to unify the tree and bring the tree back. Nobody should be going to a broken branch and saying that we're the ones. How are you the ones and you're broken away from the tree? Had you called people back to Mawlana Shaykh Muhammad the tree would have been united. All over the world, Naqshbandi would have been united. We pray that Allah unify the hearts of Ahbab and Nabi. Protect us against those who only wish to spread fitna and make our lives more difficult. We already have difficulty from shaitan. The worst of the shaitan are inside. We pray that Allah help us, support us. Ya Rabbi, your promise was Yansurullahu Nasran Aziza. Yansurullahu Nasran Aziza. We ask from all our ancestors that they send their swords and their support upon us, that every opposition and every difficulty to be completely mowed down and obliterated, take away every obstacle from in presence of whatever shaitan is trying to do of difficulty and sadness for our hearts. Ya Rabbi, obliterate those and unify the lovers of Sayyidina Muhammad so that we have this love and unity for the arrival of Sayyidina Muhammad. We don't need internal difficulties. We already have a big shaitan coming upon this earth. We need people to be united with this love, with this ishq and ashaqeen, to sit and praise upon Allah with endless love and no worry for these difficulties. Ya Rabbi, in this holy month of Rajab and in this night of Raghaib, restore our health for those whom are sick, Ya Rabbi. Restore at every moment our faith, who feel their faith is drifting away. Restore the love for all those who drifted apart from their love. Restore us with the love of Sayyidina Muhammad and make our faith and love for Prophet and for this deen of Islam, iman wal maqam and ihsan, to be solid and strong like a mountain, Ya Rabbi. Grant us, Ya Rabbi, that yaqeen, ilm yaqeen, ayn yaqeen, haqq yaqeen, to be under the hands of Ashab al-Nabi ahlul bayt al-Nabi, and that their gift in which you gave to them to defend against darkness and difficulties, that their support and their madad to reach to us. For we are the weakest of your servants, but have the greatest amount of love and the weakest amount of physicality, Ya Rabbi. We have no funds to fight people, we have no ability to fight people. Ya Rabbi, all we wanted was love and ishq and muhabbat. Increase our love in our heart, Ya Rabbi, and defend us against difficulties. بحرمة محمد المصطفى وسيد سورة الفاتحة. صلى يا رب.
Page 66 inshallah.
Page 66 in the Farsi book?
Farsi.
In Farsi, okay.
بگو یا رب بگو یا رب چه بد گفتم چه بد کردم که نزدت خویشتن را دیوادت کردم مرا یا رب نمیخواهی گناه هست و اگر نفرین این دنیای بد کردم حرفم گوش کن یا رب به دردم گوش کن یا رب اگر بیهوده میگویم مرا خاموش کن یا رب اگر بیهوده میگویم مرا خاموش کن یا رب بگو یا رب چه گفتم
के मज़ार इंशाल्लाह.
Page 20, inshallah.
20?
ما در دو جهان فاطمه جان دل به تو بستیم محبان تو هستیم دل به تو بستیم محبان تو هستیم نظر کن به عنایت فردای قیامت نظر کن به عنایت فردای قیامت صل على سيد الأصفياء صل على حجة الأولياء صل على سيد الأصفياء صل على الأولياء صل على سيد الأصفياء صل على حجة الأولياء صل على سيد الأصفياء صل على حجة الأولياء
Mirahmad. Do you have any songs for Mohammed Shaykh Pakistani? Or are you going to make one up now?
Sorry.
What we have for Prophet Hassan? You made for Mohammad Shaykh. Did you? Yeah, you did. After the one for Prophet Hassan, there's the one for Mohammad Shaykh and Shaykh Abdullah.
Page 17.
Page 17?
17, 1, 7.
That romantic was very hard.
Allah madad, Allah madad, Allah madad, Allah madad, Ya Rasul Allah nazar, Ya Rasul Allah nazar, Ya Rasul Allah nazar, Ya Rasul Allah nazar. Allah madad, Allah
the book, that's great.
Allah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Allah.
and softly also. So this is a night in which to spend in praising and Zikr and Mawlid. There's no rush to quit and go and watch television, so sit wherever you are, listening, close your eyes, and asking always to be in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad and that Allah accept all the broken-hearted and all the sick and all the oppressed into that presence, that by virtue of difficulty in life they gain access to the door of Allah's immense rahmah and mercy, and that is the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. That when we're good and everything's great, we tend to forget that door. And Allah's infinite rahmah and mercy, as difficulty comes to us, sickness comes, mushkilat comes, and before you know it, we're at that threshold begging for an entry in and to be in the audience of Allah's immense rahmah, Sayyidina Muhammad. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. I would not have sent, but that he, Sayyidina Muhammad, is an immense rahmah and mercy from Allah. I pray that Allah keep us in that company, keep us in that presence, and that to take every difficulty and sickness and mushkilat away, as the earth being filled with all sorts of difficulty and people running from every direction. And they said a great fitna would come, a fitna and difficulty and mushkilat would come, in which the one sitting is better than the one standing. And the one standing is better than the one moving. Means wherever you are, you'll be freeze. For if you should move, you move into difficulty. You see now the world is like that, how much they want to live for 1,000 years. As soon as you talk about some sort of a sickness, everybody's on lockdown. You can't come to our country, you can't get in the plane, you can't walk here, you can't do that. Put a mask on your face, rub alcohol all over your hands. And Allah save us from this difficulty. And death is coming to us, alhamdulillah. At least we sit at the table of Sayyidina Muhammad. There is nothing here that we should be trying to live for 1,000 years. This is the abode of sadness and betrayal and difficulty, and we're asking for the abode of the presence of the Divine, the presence, and to sit at the table of Sayyidina Muhammad. That if you have that love and that desire, what is there then to fear from? And they're all walking around with these masks, oh, I gotta live, I gotta live, I gotta live 1,000 more years. If in your heart you're like, what the heck, who cares? Ya Rabbi is ready to go. Then Allah says, no, maybe it's not your time. Just sit amongst them and who cares? If it's not your time, nothing can come to you. And if it is your time, there's not a mask on earth that's been created to help you. This thing goes into your skin. It's transdermal. It's not even from the mouth. This is jundum min as-sama. These are the soldiers of Allah, these viruses. It just merely come into your skin and begin to penetrate into the pore, come through the opening of your eyes, through anywhere it wants. It has complete access. And that's why Deen comes to teach us. When Nimrod, who was the oppressor for a prophet on earth, and the oppression became so bad, Allah didn't need anyone to bring an army and to fight with weapons and fight for destruction. He merely got fed up with that oppression, and he sent mosquitoes, and they said that the sky had become blackened by mosquitoes. That so much that the people were fearing, like an old-time West Nile virus 10 years ago, that the mosquitoes had filled the skies and they started to come down. And one of them was given an honor from Allah to go after Nimrod. He said, you be the one. And that mosquito went right and up the nose and nostril of Nimrod. He planted himself, and Allah began to make the mosquito to grow to the size of a bee. And he was pounding onto the brain of that oppressor. And they said that he was hitting himself, every type of medicine they gave, it didn't work. Until to take his pain, he was hitting himself, so that to alleviate the pain, how Allah wanted this oppressor to be under the suffering until he beat himself. And Allah made this mosquito to grow into like a bumblebee, from a bumblebee to the size of like a hummingbird. Just pounding until he beat himself so much into the head, and that was the end of his life. Means when Allah wants to come against oppression, there is nothing that can stop. When Allah decides it's enough, this material world is transgressing all limits and all bounds. And it's enough that Allah will reveal and send what He wants to send. Where is there a mountain to hide or to run to? There's nothing. And the only place we can run is into our heart. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's something pure, make sure that the intention is right. Ya Rabbi, that I'm the first to admit I'm an oppressor to myself. You don't have to send any mosquitoes. You don't have to send any hummingbirds to take a clue. I know that I'm oppressing myself, but I'm asking for the rahmah of Sayyidina Muhammad. I throw myself upon his threshold and ask that his rahmah intercede for me, that correct me. What's the benefit of the greatness that you gave if that greatness can be used for a slave like me? And Allah's definite reply is then to the threshold of my most beloved, that His nazar be upon you, His blessing be upon you, that every gaze and every benefit to dress upon you and take away that oppression and that bad character. We pray that Allah give us the strength of faith and the strength of character, good character, and in the end everybody is going to return back to Allah. But in what condition is important. We want to return in a condition of love and mohammad of Sayyidina Muhammad, which is the love of Allah. قُلْ إِنِ كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي وَيُحْبِبُكُمُ اللَّهُ. This is the love that we want, and Allah ordered, if you want my love, follow. That following is not from the mind, it's from the heart. That to be ashiqeen and lovers, that nothing to stop us, Ya Rabbi, we're coming only for that love. That we're not stopping until we reach this destination of love, and every obstacle of love is blocking us from inside and out. That we need your support to take us to that destination, inshaAllah. Ameen. What were we going to say?
Page 76 inshallah.
Page 76, what were we saying?
John.
Page 76.
یار میگوید الله دلدار میگوید الله یار میگوید الله دلدار میگوید الله هر کجا دیوانه باش یار میگوید الله عاشق دلداری دلدار یا رسول الله عاشق دلداری دلدار یا رسول الله عاشق جانم
Ish good. Ish good.
So,
Yes. For all the broken-hearted and people put into difficulty, this Saqi is the one whom serves the rahmah and the nectar of intoxication with the divine. Means that dunya people, when they hear these things, they don't understand because there's so much having fun. And akhirah people, that they're just continuously in a crushing and difficult state, that there's no relief until Allah begin the reality of that Saqi, in which awliyaullah can begin to send the fires that coming from the heart of Prophet ﷺ, in which intoxicates them, like anesthesiologist, somebody who gives you a relief from pain. So the time that they spend in remembrance and Zikr, a pain is being taken away from them. An intoxication of that love is trying to empower them to continue to go, to continue to go, and to continue to move, and not to give up, not to relief or to lose hope and enter into oceans of despair. Means these awliyaullah, kalam al-awliyaullah is so immense, and it's such a beatific taste that you have to feel with your heart all these salawats. Think of all the difficulties and mushkilats that are surrounding us, and many who we know because of the communication with them, the difficulties they face, is that to embrace that difficulty. Think, oh my gosh, the difficulty, that all of this is happening, that I don't need to know so much why, Ya Rabbi, but grant me a relief from the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, that he dispensed that rahmah, that light and that energy within my heart and my soul. I don't need to see anything. Don't preoccupy the self, I don't have to see, I have to see, oh I don't see anything. Because as soon as you enter into that, you become so lost in trying to see, you didn't feel. And the feeling is what's important. It's through your soul, open up these praisings through the soul, in which you feel the vibration of what's being recited. That you feel your soul most definitely, 100,000% is in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, that everything and every electron must be circumambulating its nucleus. And the one from oceans of Wahid, there's one universal atom, and that nucleus is Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. And everything from creation is circumambulating that reality. So we're all in that reality. We are all facing Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. We just have to wake up and know it. As soon as we know it, to feel it with our soul and ask that dress us from that light, bless us from that light, take away every type of difficulty, at least temporarily let me to lose sight of that and to be lost in this ishq and this love that you have granted to me, inshaAllah.
Page 93, inshallah.
Page 93.
Saqi, 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 باز دستم و دیوانه غم عشق و رسوایی دیگه هستی پنهونه یا هو یا من هو الا هو یا هو یا من هو یا من هو الا هو
الكرام ولمشايخنا طريقة النقشبندية العلية وسائر صحباتنا وسيدتنا الفاتحة. شهد يا رسول الكريم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In this holy month of Rajab, reminders to open up the app, that everything is on the app, and most everything inshallah that the guys have put on, and it's a tool to be used. As soon as Rajab comes, open up the section of the month, you go to the month of Rajab, and everything should be there for the awrad, the etiquette of the month, the etiquette of the day, even how to do the lentil diet. And when people are asking that, how to do this or how to do that, you're really not using the app is what it's showing, because everything is there for us, and most of it is offline. That I don't need an internet connection unless I'm streaming from a video or sound. So it's made available for us for wherever we are, inshallah. In this holy month of Rajab, and to understand, or towards the understanding, that this is a secret of the 7th month, and the importance of 7 and the realities of 7, which are numerous. If we take that 7 by the power of awliyaullah and the power in which Allah moving them through base 9 understanding, it gives us the number 63. So 9 times 7 is 63. We move through the powers of 9. The first surah, after Allah addressed them from 1 to 12, then Allah took them to a level of surah 9 being their first surah. Address them from Bab Tawbah to enter into surah 9, dress them from 9, then take them to surah 18, make them to be dressed from Ashab al-Kahf and the understanding of the 18th surah, then 27th surah, surah An-Nam, and the importance of Innahu Sulaiman wa Innahu Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, from 27 to 36 to 45 to 54, and into then now Rajab starts and becomes the 63rd surah, Surah Al-Munafiqeen. We go to 63rd name of Sayyidina Muhammad Al-Hafi, Sayyidina Hafi, the welcoming. 63rd name of Ismullah Al-Qayyum, the self-existing one. So for Qayyum to open for the servant is under the authority of Sayyidina Hafi, the welcoming of that reality. So by knowing the name of Prophet ﷺ is the key to that Ismullah. And it's like a lock, it only opens with the authority of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. Then it takes about Surah Munafiqeen and the summary of its understandings. Then the tajalli, that there were 12 hijabs in which Allah when creating the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad for every hijab he was giving a tajalli and nazar, a dress upon the reality of that light of Nur Muhammadi. In this month, for 6,000 years, Allah was dressing the light of Sayyidina Muhammad with the zikr of Subhana man huwa khalaqa nur. The glory be to the one who creates the light. Because of that reality, they were inspired, and awliya were inspired. That's the month that they go into seclusion. The 7th month they enter in. Why? Because there is a zikr of Subhana man huwa khalaqa nur. When Allah is dressing, because Allah has no time. Means that Allah when they're talking about these 12 hijabs, is Allah is always dressing Prophet from that reality. So that if Subhana man huwa khalaqa nur, the month in which Allah is bringing the reality and dressing the secrets of light, then they go into seclusion, and that is from the understandings of the power of the month of Rajab, that Allah is releasing it in immense light. So then that's the month in which to do your zikrs, do your practices, whatever you can do, more of charity, do more of being of service, more of making your ibadah and your worshipness, to be dressed by those realities and blessed by those realities, fasting in those months, fasting in the month of Rajab, Shaban and Ramadan. From their deeper knowledges of awliyaullah is that there are three hearts. There's a divine heart for us just to understand, because the kalam can't understand these realities, so it's a very low level to bring out for people to understand through words, that there's a divine essence. And then there's the Muhammadan reality, and then the Adamic reality. So the divine essence, with whatever it is that is unknown to us, is a hidden secret wanting to be known. So Allah is a hidden secret wanting to be known. Rajab is that month, Subhana man huwa khalaqa nur. At that moment Allah wants to be known. Means then this might of creating light is now boom, the spark is in Rajab. And the secret of what Allah wanted to create was what Allah gave to us of an understanding of Rajab. That I was a hidden treasure, I wanted to be known, I'm going to spark this light, that all this creation will be known by this reality. So we call the divine essence and divine light. As soon as the tajallis of Rajab are dressing that reality, then Prophet ﷺ comes to teach us the next month, the 8th lunar month, is Shahban. And this is the month of Sayyidina Muhammad. Why? Because from the three realities of the heart, that the Muhammadan light is the light in which Allah opened in Rajab. Allah wants to be known and will be known in Shaban or in the reality of Muhammadun Rasulullah. So the spark, what they call the seed, because they don't understand the reality. The spark comes in Rajab, and Allah wants to be known. That's the La ilaha. It wants to be known. As soon as Shaban comes, it becomes Muhammadun Rasulullah. So it means that this light that wanted to be known in Rajab was the spark of Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then Allah addresses it, blesses it, puts a tajalli upon it. So Shaban becomes the light of Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So then between Rajab and Shaban is the secret of La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is now the Muhammadan heart in Shaban. That's why again the majesty of Shaban, the dressings and the blessings of Shaban. Then Prophet ﷺ described that I am from Allah and creation is from me, my light. So then Ramadan is the Adamic light. The secret of Ramadan is the birth of the Adamic light, that from the light of Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah will bring all creation into existence. And that's Hadith Jabr. That what was the first thing that Allah created? The light of your Prophet, the light of your Rasul before Adam and between clay and water. Means before the Adamic light, the light of Prophet ﷺ was created. That was the Rajab. It manifested in the secrets of Shaban, and all of creation manifests in the reality of Ramadan. From the light of Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this creation now begins to manifest. So the holiness of Ramadan and the reality of Ramadan is that Allah allowed us to manifest. It's our coming into existence, and the only way to achieve its reality is through Siyam Ramadan, It's not through your fast, it's not through your praying, it's not through your zakah, it's not through anything that we can do to achieve its reality and its understanding. Not even the thankfulness of why Allah brought us into existence. So what Allah recommended and advised or ordered Prophet ﷺ is have them to fast. Only through a state of siyam and fasting can we achieve the reward that Allah wants to dress us from. Rajab, Shaban, it manifests in Ramadan. And that becomes the reality and the dress of our light. That's why Ramadan is always a rebirth, because it's under the authority of the 9th month. Ramadan will annihilate all the sins of the servant and all that they have put upon their reality and destroyed of their realities from what their origin was. Allah promised that if you fast in Ramadan, I will wash away everything and restore you like new. Immensity of Ramadan is that everything will be destroyed and Allah will dress the servant as if new. They return to the origin of their light. And subhanAllah, a nation with 2 billion people, they fast and they committed to Ramadan. This is the extent of Allah's rahmah on the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. There is not a nation on this earth that follows a prophet that does anything of that extent. They don't fast but 2 days and say we gave up Coca-Cola and we just lit. It's not the greatness. Allah wants to show the greatness of the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. See, your nation, when people will be astonished that a month comes and 2 billion people immediately seal their mouth from food and water. This to show the ihtiram for Prophet. It's Allah's not in need of it, He can give you the reward without it. He wants to show the greatness of Prophet even on the day of judgment to the other prophets. Look, your nations kept nothing, but look at my Habib and my beloved. His nation will till the day of judgment come to us, come to Allah's divinely presence, all have fasting and kept their Ramadan and kept their way of Ramadan. So the immensity of that light and blessings of that light, we pray Allah to give us good help. To see that month, give us a light and love to see that month and pray that these lights, Ya Rabbi, that we are weak servants, and abdukul ajisu ta'if wa miskin uzan mujahad. If not by your grace and your majesty, your rahmah, the love of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu Ya Rabbi, dress us from subhanahu man huwa khalaqun nur, and let that light to blossom within our hearts and to manifest all its secrets. And why you wanted on the 27th of that holy month for Prophet ﷺ to go back into that origin of light and take his physicality back into the ocean of that creation. What dressings and lights and blessings you gave to that reality, let us to see that night of Isra wal Miraj and all the barakah and the blessings that you have bestowed upon this holy month of Rajab and Laylatul Raghaib, that our only desire is that you grant us your forgiveness and dress us for your satisfaction. For if Allah should be satisfied with us, then alhamdulillah, this is the greatest accomplishment in our existence, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa wasila Sufi al-Fatiha. Inshallah, the niyat Naqshbandi Fatim Khawjikan, inshallah. Is Lord okay with lowering the light, or do we have to keep that light? Lord, are you sleeping back there, or you're on the computer? Can they turn the light up? Yes. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نويت الأربعين وتريتك وصلتك عن الصلوب والصيام. فهذا المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم في بركة الليلة الرفاعية في شهر المبارك شهر الرجب. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أستغفر الله 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 أستغفر الله
الذي لا إله إلا هو الكريم وأتوب إليه إنه هو التواب القلب دين الإسلام من كل ما يقال الشريعة من كل ما يقال الطريقة من كل ما يقال المعرفة من كل ما يقال العقيدة من كل ما يقال النزيمة يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفتح الأبواب يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا ذا المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وفوض أمر الله إن الله بصير بالعباد.
Rabbi al-Sharif, asking to always see ourselves rose al-Sharif in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam بمددكم ونزلكم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم في الليلة المبارك ليلة الرغائب that keep your weak servants, loving servants, that keep us at your threshold, your nazar upon us, your pity upon us, your dress upon us, inshallah.
فاتحة الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صلوات الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم
نشرح لك صدرك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك وإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا وإلى ربك فارغب الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك
فرغ الله أكبر إخلاص الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله
أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد
الله أكبر فاتحة الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحمن مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صلاة الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم
صل يا ربي وسلم جميع أنبيائه والمرسلين وكل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين إلى الشرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى الصحابة الكرام ولمشايخنا في الطريقة النقشبندية العلية خاصة أبو الإمام طريقة باب تخليك شان نقشبند محمد ويسع البخاري سترنا ولي الشيخ عبد الفايز الدرستاني سترنا ولي الشيخ محمد نازم حقاني والشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل عبد الخالق الخوش دواني صاحب زمان سيدنا محمد عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام ثم سلمك الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان الإمام الحسن سلمان حسين سيدنا فاطمة عليه السلام وسائر ساداتنا وصديقنا الفاتحة بركة الليلة القائد
فلم أنه لا إله إلا الله 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 نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الله الله حق الله الله حق الله حق الله الله حق الله حق الله حق
Allah غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. ونشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم على أكمل العالمين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلوات الله تعالى والملائكة والأنبياء والرسل وجميع خلقنا محمد وعلى آل محمد عليهم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى صالح رسول الله أجمعين وللتابعين بإحسان الأئمة المجتهدين والعلماء المتقين والأولياء الصالحين شمالية العلية قدس الله تعالى وزكيها ونور الله تعالى حضرتكم مباركة والله تعالى من بركاته وفيداته دائما والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلى أشرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام وشيخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العالية خاصة إلى أهله والطريقة والخليفة العاشر نقشبند محمد الوسيط البخاري وسلطان الأولياء الشيخ عبد الله فايز البستاني وسلطان الأولياء الشيخ محمد ناصر عادل الحقاني ومولانا الشيخ هشام كباني شيخ عدنان كباني شيخ محمد عادل مولانا عبد الخالق البجدواني صاحب الزمان سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا علي عليه السلام ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن عليه السلام إمام الحسين عليه السلام سيدنا فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام وسائر ساداتنا والصديقين.
الفاتحة. How's your Arabic? Reading Saudi Arabia. Inshallah, those in this area, we have a program tomorrow night, on Friday at Hill Street, 235 Hill Street, Church on Ocean Park in Santa Monica. So anybody who's watching and going to come in the area, then we have a program Friday night and Saturday night at the Red Diamond Yoga Center. So please, if you're watching online and you're close by in the area of Los Angeles and California area, then we'll be Friday night, tomorrow night in Santa Monica, and Saturday in West LA, inshallah. And Allah bless you and bless your Laylatul Raghaib and dress us with the light and love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Inshallah, بحرمة محمد المصطفى ووسيلة سورة الفاتحة. Concludes our forecast for you.
Conflict, confusion, stress, anxiety. Life doesn't have to be this way. Sages and wise people throughout time have sought to understand the mysteries of our universe. From the infinite oceans that glitter in the sky, to the smallest of atoms from which all life appears. Beyond the chaos and suffering of our world is an underlying oneness and harmony. From numbers and geometric patterns that repeat throughout nature, to the waves of sound and light that flow through all things. At our core, we're deeply connected to everything. Our innermost thoughts, emotions, and intentions shape the reality of the world around us. Life is not merely a material experience. In reality, it's much, much more.